It's never a waste of time to make time for the truth. A moment spent listening and paying attention to the truth can change your life. So let's take a moment for the truth. Psalms 119:67 says, "Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I keep your word." Unused muscles grow weak. Strength comes from dealing or facing resistance. But why is that? So many people talk about relaxing and time off, and yet there is a danger that comes from having it easy or living a life that's free of any testing or struggling situations. The British historian and philosopher Thomas Carlyle said it this way: "For every 100 men who can stand adversity, there's only one who can withstand prosperity." History has shown that those words are true. The writer of the psalm makes a confession in this verse that we read. Without specifics, he confesses that he went astray. It's an interesting word that's used here. It's only used in the Old Testament 4 times. It has a tone of apology to it. This going astray comes out of being deceived and erring in judgment, perhaps even falling into sin. That's not really surprising or hard to imagine. Smooth sailing, easy going, or times of prosperity can lower our defenses. Jesus even mentioned the dangers of the deceitfulness of riches that chokes out the word of God in Matthew 13:22. The writer also confesses that his going astray happened prior to his being afflicted. Again, the writer doesn't provide an example as to what that affliction was, but the word is used in terms of something that is hard, pressing, perhaps painful, humbling, and most often corrective. The combination of this word with what was mentioned about going astray puts focus on what has happened. The affliction is connected with him having gone astray. There should be no doubt that God is involved in this whole process. What is interesting is the writer's reaction. When God's corrective comes upon a life, there are at least 2 possible reactions that come. One is that of anger at God for having pressed the life with affliction. It's like, why is this happening to me? This reaction does give thought that God is moving redemptively even in the press of affliction. Such a reaction actually bears witness to an illegitimate claim by that person to having a connection with God. The other reaction is the one that we see in this verse. The writer says, "But now I keep your word." This is a confession and an acknowledgement. He confesses that the deception of walking away from the Lord and his ways is what's happened. And he acknowledges that his confidence should rest entirely on God and his word. Whatever led him astray weakened him in his life and his walk before God. The greatest protection from deceitfulness that leads astray from his word, is his word. As it says in Psalms 119:11, "I have treasured your word in my heart so that I may not sin against you." Take a moment to implant his protective word in your life. It only takes a moment, but it will be a moment that will matter. Thanks for watching and listening to Truth Matters Moment. Also, don't forget to look for our weekly podcast called Truth Matters. It comes out every Wednesday. Catch you later.